Welcome, everybody, to Stay Curious. I'm your host, Mark Marquette. So glad you joined us today on Monday, October 6th, 2025. And sitting beside me is your good friend and mine, Mr. Terry White. Hi, Terry.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. It's kind of like you've been on here so much. Our regulars know who you are. And Terry is a last minute addition to today's show to help me out a little bit as we had the seventh meeting of the Shuttle Fest 5 committee. Marty Winkle, my co-producer. Hi, Marty. Thank you for spearheading our committees of what's going to be a pretty interesting Shuttle Fest as things are lining up. And we'll talk about that here in a minute. There's Terry's promo there that I asked him, would you just hang around? And he don't mind because it's a rainy, stormy day here on the coast. And
Yep.
you're an outdoor guy. You like
Yeah,
to get
I'd be
outdoors.
on the tractor if it wasn't raining.
Yeah, right. So you just be hanging out at home and chasing your wife around the house, and you've
Yep.
done plenty of that. So anyway, good to have. He said he'd come in here and talk a little bit about Starship, Artemis, and how about should I stay or should I go? As we're underneath Discovery here, underneath where the ET tank connects things up there. So I'm sure you've got an opinion about the politics of should we stay or should we go. We'll talk about that here on the program in a few
Well,
minutes.
we never learn anything by staying, so we have to go, but we have to go under the right conditions.
There you go. And of course, we had Eric Baker was on Friday doing a program where Eric had a letter to the editor printed. And I'm looking around for that here. Where did I put that? Eric's letter to the editor. I got it right here. Uh, and I'll tell you what his comment for Eric Baker, our test project engineer, who really gives us some in-depth things in there. So I'll set that in front of you. You can glance at that while I ramble on here and tell people that instead of a sponsor today, I thought I'd give a sales pitch of if you're 70 and a half or older, you have to distribute some of your IRA income to a charitable distribution. And that's by law. And so why not the American Space Museum? So if you're a senior citizen or well into your senior years, consider this, would you all, on there. And we have an then I'm going to talk about the artifact of the day here just a second. But Shuttle Fest 5, NASA at Star City, American astronauts on Russian spaceships. And we've already got Norm Thagard scheduled to come.
Yep.
And Mike Baker, and we're going to have asked back Don Thomas, as they both were directors of operations at Star City, as well as each went to space 4 times. I got Tom Jones coming. Now, Tom Jones wasn't a Star City astronaut, but Sunday we'll be talking we want Tom to do some of his stories that he's accumulated
Okay.
from writing his book, 135 space shuttle stories in his book. So, we have a lot of people that have been to Shuttle Fest over the years. They know that we're taking it to the next level for sure. And how do you perceive things are going with our 8 months out?
Well, so far we're lining everything up to go have another great shuttle fest. So we'll see how it goes in the next 8 months and get people signed up for all the different roles we have to perform.
Yes, and have no problem getting astronauts. We might have too many astronauts if that'd be a problem, but no place in America is providing a forum for astronauts to just hang out in a fellowship mood, to my knowledge.
Yes.
They might go to a conference and do some research paper or talk, to me, this is why we built a good, successful fundraiser for our nonprofit. And it's going to be June 19th, 20th, and 21st. So hope that you can come, save the date. We're getting how much it'll cost and all that stuff all together here. So Jim McDade is saying hello, Terry. He is in Rocket City there in Huntsville, Alabama. Dave Stange says hello to all of us. Looking forward to watching the show today. Just hanging out with you all. Rosalie says it's time to stay curious again. Thank you, dear, for watching. Gary Gerald's watching. Steve Jokum says hello to us all. And Lynn Feathers. Hello, Lynn. She's in West Virginia. All right.
Yeah, I just reminded her we're having a special show today.
Oh, okay, good. And Tom Celentano, always great to hear memories of the shuttle days from Terry. Carlton Bailey, sure has been raining out there at your place, I'll bet. Doug Forrest says hello. You met Doug over
Yes.
the artist. Stangy says 85 and sunny in Macomb, Michigan today. Crazy fall weather. Let's see. T Music is on there. Good afternoon and hello, Terry. Tom Usiak. I don't have my glasses on, Tom. I got like Tom. I see T Music there. And did you get a chance to see the Usiak equipment that we have on display there? The remote camera situation.
I didn't get a chance to look at it now.
Okay, you were standing over there talking to those ladies. Terry was giving a little bit of a tour here half hour ago. So, all right, let me bring this up and there and
Good question.
looking for the. You got another question, Marty? Go ahead.
Yeah, we got a question from Lynn Feathers.
Okay.
What is the difference between a TPS tech and a shuttle tech?
Okay. There were different job classifications. The shuttle tech was an orbiter tech, and that could be mechanical or electrical and that, but they basically worked on the orbiter itself. They worked on the structure, they worked on putting things into the cargo bay, they worked on all the different components inside the crew module, removing and black boxes, reinstalling. They worked on the ohms systems, the forward reactionary control systems, and that. So they worked on the vehicle itself. Now, the thermal technicians worked on the outside of the vehicle. So they had all of the tiles, the flexible insulation blankets, the frizzy, and a combination of orbiter techs and TPS techs worked together on the reinforced carbon, the leading edge of the wing. So it was a joint adventure. Took a while for me to convince the management that the TPS techs could work the orbiter tasks, so a lot of them transferred over to the orbiter and that. But when I first started loaning them for the orbiter tasks, the orbiter supervisors came back and said, "You got any more techs like them? Those guys are good." I said, "I've been trying to tell you that for years."
Good question. Thank you so much for that. Our artifact of the day, and we got a whole bunch here. Terry's going to show you that came in the door today. Oh, my artifact of the day. Guess what? That was in that HEIC mode. We'll just show that later. I didn't convert it to a JPEG, doggone it. So, show us what we got here, Terry, that came in the door today.
Okay.
Couple things came in the door.
This one is odd. I can't tell by the part number where it goes, but it's something internal. But what's odd is the back of it is,
Go ahead,
is sprayed red, and it's not adhesive. So that one wasn't bonded on. That's one would have been mechanically fastened. And by the look of it, I don't think it was ever installed. It could have been, but that one, but without more information,
you know that this is a part, and it's kind of greenish.
Yeah, by the part number, I can tell it is a part for an orbiter.
The VO, correct?
Yeah,
The VO sets it off
yeah.
that is a space shuttle orbiter part.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, and some of these other things, like this is a bunch of fasteners.
Go ahead.
Fasteners, and there's no part number, nothing. I don't recognize that, but there's so many fasteners on the orbiter that I didn't actually handle, so I don't know exactly where that one would have gone.
Came in a bag today.
Yeah. This one is an electrical component, again, with no part number, nothing. It's really hard to tell where that one would have gone, and I don't recognize its shape.
Is that a sensor?
It could be. It looks like it connects to something, but it's got an odd feature on the back side of it. So,
Okay.
and this one has no part number. Whatever it was is scrapped. So it looks like a shield for something, but I don't know how it was held in since there is no fastener, but there's no evidence of it being glued. People don't realize that we glued or bonded a lot of things on the orbiter and that, so we didn't overstress the structure by drilling holes in that. So, and if we had to change it out, we could scrape the adhesive off.
And that's kind of a fiberglass feel to it.
Yep. And this one does not look orbiter related to me, and there's no part number on it that I can go by that would say it's orbiter. That 011 part number does not.
Mm-hmm. So you suspect that might be maybe some ground equipment, and not
by
part
the
of
fasteners, it doesn't look like it's ground, but it could be, and it could be some part of GSE, or it could be from a previous.
We didn't take it apart
program.
to see if there's a part number hidden under there.
No, it's got that one part number right there,
Yeah,
but that's it.
That's heavy. That's metal.
Yep.
All right, that came in one bag, but then this came in.
This one is from inside the wing. This is an Inconel insulator inside the wing behind the reinforced carbon.
Zoom in on that, the information there. You see the VO70. Thank you, Marty.
197. So
Says insulator.
Yeah.
And for scrapping, and the date is October. The date on here was, is it October? Like,
it should be a date right there.
October 10th.
Yeah, what year? 97?
Yeah, 97.
Yeah. Oh, okay, and it came off of OV102, Columbia.
Right there. OV102 right there in the, yep, OV102. So, serviceable, repairable tag, unserviceable, repairable tag material, condition code 07, okay.
And it even tells you what document removed it from the ship. That's down at the very bottom.
Down here?
Yeah, the structures 224, 436, I think it was.
So this was taken out in
636.
October 1997, October 10th to be exact.
Yep.
What it was inside the wing. It's
Yeah.
very light. It feels like the material that like a radiator's made out of.
Yeah, well, it's
It's
Inconel, though.
Inconel,
Yeah,
huh?
will withstand a lot of heat. So
And there's some two holes there. Here it says VO70, high temp insulation.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool right there, Marty. So I don't. We will probably put this in a case and show it off a little bit there. We don't have many orbiter stuff. So this was space flown, though.
by the look of it, yes, sir.
Okay. But what would it be inside the wing? Is it like
Well,
a rib or a?
No, in behind the reinforced carbon,
Oh, okay.
it is a bunch more insulation. The reinforced carbon protects from the heat, but it doesn't. It's not a good insulator. So they have other things in there that insulate.
So this would have been the forward part of the wing, probably.
It could have been. I'd have to pull that drawing to see exactly where it went. So.
And very interesting. Okay. And then we got a piece of frizzy here that came in the door with this. All right. And this is the blanket.
Yeah, that one looks like it was installed. So it's been scraped off the ship. We didn't reuse it, so it wouldn't have gone back on.
Now, this was attached to the ship on the backside? This
on the
I see.
Yeah,
by
you
right
can see
there,
some
you
of the
see.
adhesive in that where they scraped it off. And the white is the outside that's exposed to the elements.
This is what the doors are covered with.
Payload bay doors, very top of the crew module, parts of the aft sidewalls.
Fire flaming through the atmosphere.
For areas that see less than 700 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, how's about that for some artifacts today on Stay Curious Today? As every day we want to recognize a sponsor and share with you an artifact out of our museum, and those are going to find a good place here. Literally came in the door like 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
All right. And Raj said, Mark, here's some stuff that came in. And we're actually doing an unbox it video on some stuff that comes into the door.
Yeah,
By the way,
he tries to surprise me every once in a while with some parts that he got in. He goes, "What in the heck is this?" He said, "We can tell it's got a part number on it, but we have no idea what it does."
Thank you for straightening us out there. Let's see. If you're wondering about my shirt there, this is the Japanese tidal wave with Mount Fuji behind you here and the moon going on there. Chris Callie, he's got a name for this wave. The Fuqua or something.
Got me.
He's not watching.
It's been a
And
long
there's my
time.
daughter Jessica. Hey Jesse. Hey McKinley and Macy. She said, my daughter says, great to see the mustachioed champ on here today. So,
Thanks.
yep. Hope you get to meet my good friend here someday, daughter. Jim McDade says, over the decades, I've seen some Apollo exhibits move from one museum to another. The Apollo 11 MQF moved from Huntsville to Udvar-Hazy, for example. That's fine. An orbiter is just crazy move. And we're going to talk about that here at the end there, because everybody's thinking it's pretty, doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Except to a politician, maybe. Lee Ann Semick says hello. And hello to you there, Leanne. Thank you very much for joining our Stay Curious family here today. We're on Monday through Friday and doing space history, space news, some amateur astronomy from your backyard occasionally, and great guests like we do with Terry White, who's going to come on later this month, and we're going to put a program together like we usually do. He said there's still a lot to talk about the thermal protection system. So maybe that he was initially hired in on in his 3 decades out there with the shuttle. But we love the shuttle. We love talking about the shuttle era. Marty, my image just went off. There we are. Let me go backwards here. Up. Shuttles of the month of October, Terry. 12 beautiful shuttles. We've got, would you believe that Pam Melroy had 3 flights? All of her 3 flights were in the month of October. Twice a pilot and twice a commander. Let's see. Pambo is on, Pambo is on the upper right, STS 112.
And she flew with McCully, didn't
Then
she?
she's on 92.
34.
And
she
then
fly with McCully on 34?
no,
Okay.
McCully was 34.
Yeah.
And then 120, she was the commander of in the bottom there. 2 interplanetary probes, one we're going to talk about, launched today. And the Galileo probe to Jupiter was STS-34. How about Bob Crippen's second command in 84 with 2 women on board for the first time? That is STS 41G there, yes, with John McBride on there. And 5 missions. There are 4 or 5 missions with 2 women. I think there's 4 missions with 2 women on there. What jumps out at you about these 12 shuttles of October that you remember?
Nothing really amazing about them. I mean, on STS-34, McCully flew a silver Snoopy pin for me.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. And then I didn't find that out till
What's the
later.
silver Snoopy pin to tell everybody?
Silver Snoopy is something that's created back in Apollo, and it is a pin that astronauts themselves present to people in the program that are deserving of recognition for a specific job or task well done. So, so I didn't know until later. I was saying something about it, and he says, I flew that pin on my flight. So, And then the other thing was John Glenn's return to space.
Yes.
Remember, after John Glenn orbited the Earth, NASA said he's never going back to space again. They didn't want to lose the icon. And then, so that one right there. So
with the shuttle and the 7 on it there.
Yeah, it's got the 7 from his earlier flight, and then the orbiter for.
DOD mission kicked off the month, as these are chronological order of when they were launched, not the year that they were launched, but the day of the week there. Got Bob Cabana. We're going to talk about him today here in just a minute. The Space Lab Life Sciences there with Blaha and so forth was a big one there. And but we'll talk about them as we go through the month of October here. But we're going to talk about one launched today on October 6th, 1990. It was STS-41. Terry, I love doing the artwork of the shuttle. mission patches. Did you ever have anything to influence on any patch at any time?
Nope, that was all up to the crews to do. They didn't ask for our ideas.
Simple looking patch, but what a long explanation. STS-41 crew depicts the space shuttle orbiting Earth after deployment of its primary payload, the Ulysses satellite. The orbiter is shown passing over the southeastern U.S., representative of its 28-degree inclination orbit. Ulysses, the solar exploration satellite, will be the fastest man-made object in the universe, traveling at 30 miles a second. All right, and is represented by the streaking silver teardrop passing over the sun. Okay, so that's what this is. That is not when it's deployed, it's when it's brought into the sun. It takes a big loop around Jupiter so that it could go over the poles of the sun. For the first time, we saw the north and south pole of the sun. Ulysses' path is depicted by the bright red spiral originating from the space shuttle's payload bay. The path will extend around Jupiter, where Ulysses will receive a gravitationally directional change that will put it in a polar trajectory around the sun. The three-legged journey extending out of the payload bay is symbolic of the astronaut logo and is in honor of those who had given their lives in conquest of space. The 5 stars, 4 gold, and 1 silver represent STS-41 and each of the crew members. So we're going to see those crew members right now. There is in the back row, that is Bruce Melnick there, and Bruce Melnick, Bill Shepard, and Tom Akers. Bob Cabanas on the left, he was pilot, and Bill Shepard is on the right, the commander. Richard Richards is right there. That's Richard Richards. He's the commander. Cabana's first flight is 4. And we always wonder how these pictures were taken. That is not a green screen. Okay, photo back there. Bruce Melnick, who I'd gotten to know pretty well when he was astronaut wrangler out there at the Space Center, and Bruce has helped us a time or two. He loves this picture. He says this is the coolest photo taken for an astronaut crew photo. They just landed their T-38s. A storm passed by, and this is the actual photograph that a photographer did with a little fill flash on their faces there. And Melnick says it's cool and it's bitching, and I like it because I'm in it in there. And you've been around Bruce a little bit, probably. He's a very fun man.
And he's another turkey hunter, so we talk turkey.
Oh, right, yes. You that's right. You talked turkey with him on there. So that was the crew. Just to show you Wicca, today's world, this is a screen grab off of putting STS-41 launch in a search engine there. So you get all these beautiful pictures of 41. When was that launched? What time of day? I said it was launched at 7:47 a.m. So the sun was up for about a half hour. So it caught full sunlight on the way up on there. And this is one of my favorite shots, up the nozzles of the engines there. Of course, it's a remote camera and has been duplicated many times, but wow, just to think of the energy and the power going on there. And beneath this was all kinds of stuff going on the launch pad with those rainbirds and so forth. I love that shot. How about you? Is that one of your favorite shots? In there. And they deployed here's a depiction of the Ulysses spacecraft. Lasted 19 years. Okay, this is in 1990, so we're talking 35 years ago. And my gosh, I know Bob Cabanas, 75 years old. He was 40 years old. And might give Bob a text there. But very important. We discovered some things about the sun that we didn't know about, of course, and reinforced other things. But the sun is still a big mystery. Why do stars like this happen by the multiple billions everywhere we look at the solar system? And there's Bruce and Not sure who that is. Tom Akers may be talking on there. So great mission, good times, and looking back, that's our look at history today on this October 6th, the way it was in 1990 with a beautiful morning launch of STS 41. And you launch them. What was that like? I mean, that was a morning, so you probably came into work, and everybody's excited to see a launch go off. Probably right. Um, or would you like we do here with these noisy Falcon 9s? Just wait a minute, I gotta walk outside and watch it go up.
No, everybody still wanted to go outside, but I could tune into the firing room and see what was going on, so I'd stay in there until it was almost ready to lift off the pad and then walk outside. So,
Uh-huh.
yep.
But you were working on another orbiter
Yes.
in the flow, so to speak,
Yep.
right?
Yep. So
We're gonna have Eric Baker's going to do a show Friday about the flow.
yeah,
Did he call you about
he-
some details about it?
yeah.
You're not going to believe these crazy charts that they put together every day. It is like, those timelines where they take an historical event and lay them on top of each other to see if they coincided in the same years and stuff like that. That's what these flow charts remind me
Yeah,
of.
and they only show the major tasks that's going on. They don't show all the rest of the work that's going on.
We're going to look forward to that Friday with Eric Baker. Also, this week in space history, these two women talked to each other for the first time from Earth to space. Okay, the first females to talk from Earth was Mary Cleave and Sally Ride on the STS-41G mission that's going on right now in 1984 on there. And Mary was the Capcom. They didn't have a woman Capcom talk to her when Sally was up the first time. So they made sure this happened today. So, and first females to talk from Earth to space, and they haven't hung up yet.
Yeah. Capcom is the capsule communicator.
Yeah.
So the crew in space communicates with an astronaut on console in Houston. So the astronauts rotate out, taking that role around the clock to talk to the crews.
All right. Jim McDade points out about STS-95 before we leave the shuttles of the month that it was a monumental public relations boost for the program. He thinks, as a space geek like me. In my opinion, it was a major climatic event of the program, generated broader interest than any flight since the Apollo era.
Yeah, and the press was so bad about wanting to see Glenn and that usually after we're done with our crew equipment interface test, it's a special test we do right before we're rolling the orbiter over to the VAB. The crew comes down here and goes through a bunch of things they're going to have to do on orbit, what they've been practicing in the simulators. Now they get to see everything in the real orbiter and at that time they also do their own sharp edge inspection. Well, usually at the end of the second day, then we'll get together. We used to go to somewhere in town, to a restaurant, whatever, and have food together and bend elbows and get to talk to the crew. You could take your family to it and that. But for the Glenn one, the press was so overwhelmed with trying to get to him and all that they decided we would just hold it on the Space Center so we could control who actually came to it. But they did allow employees to go home and get their family and bring them back out just for that event.
So it was a big banquet
Yeah,
type of situation.
Well, it was pizza and beers.
Oh, okay.
but my kids got to come out and meet him. So, and actually, he grew up right down the road from where I was born in Ohio. So,
really, you grew up in Cambridge.
yeah,
And you grew up in South
Perry County, yeah,
southeast.
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a rolling hills there where the
Mhm.
terminal moraine stopped and the big glacier there. So what was your impression? You met a lot of famous people. What's your impression of Mr. Glenn?
He was a great guy, easy talker, willing to answer any question and support you in that. And the commander was really protective of him, but Glenn
Brown.
wanted to talk to everybody that was there, like he talked to Rebecca and Travis but finally the commander came over and said, look, he's got to get something to eat. He's got to get, so I said, all right, everybody understood. But yeah, he wasn't willing to give up answering questions to people. So
Yeah, Kurt Brown was the commander. He is president of the Astronaut Scholarship Foundation for many years. I've not really talked to him. I've seen him at some events and stuff, but he was, when we talked to several people that worked this, including Travis Thompson, when he was in town, and he said Kurt would get upset that, hey, there's 6 other astronauts on this mission here.
Yes.
There's not just John Glenn,
that's
as famous as he was. So age 77. Think about that. Marty, I know you'd fit to go to space, not me. And I'm not 77, but I think Marty'd be able to go at his age, and he's early 80s there. But that was really a big deal, and he still is the oldest person to orbit the Earth. Orbit the Earth, okay. And great man, lived to almost 98, 95, something like that. So thanks for that question there. And
speaking of that, today would have been my mom's 99th birthday.
is that right?
Yeah. So
I got these out of whack for some reason, Marty. They're on our slides in a different place on our printout, aren't they? News of the day. Just wanted to interrupt some current events. This is a interplanetary comet called 3i for the 3rd interplanetary object discovered ever. The first 2 were quite small, like football field size, think of. They did not emit gases and debris like a comet does. This one does. It came from another solar system. All right. It's been traveling maybe for billions of years, not millions of years, just wandering through our solar system. This is one of the latest photos of it. Okay. It just went past Mars this weekend. I'm anxiously looking for images of what it looked like from Mars. And we might see it. It's going to be closest to the sun in the end of October. Okay. You see the sun there. It's actually going a little closer to the sun than this shows here. The sun's in the middle there. But it's taken a path that we know could have never been part of our solar system. It's just cutting through. Now, it is not this, okay? It is not an interstellar mystery. By the way, this is AI generated because they misspelt Jupiter here. Interstellar in the first panel is. You see this stuff on your social media. This is entertainment, comic book science. Has nothing to do with the facts of this. We are not in danger. It's not an alien spaceship. I saw something that the alien spaceship that just sent probes into the Pacific Ocean yesterday. People, we beg of you, trust none of what you see and less of what you hear.
Yeah.
Because in today's world, you need to be a skeptical inquirer. It's incredible the last year.
Yeah.
The type of scams, the AI generated things of movies and so forth. Now, there's some great application, like take a picture of grandma that's been sitting on the up on the wall for all your life, and you scan that and run it through AI, and she can be laughing.
Yeah.
Or have you seen some of those things?
Oh, yeah.
Where people get up out of a chair and walk out of the chair they're sitting in? That's very interesting. I find that very, very cool on there. Marty, we lost the green screen there.
Rebecca can do that with photos, so.
Well, we just went into a black hole. That's okay. We're still here for you all to be here. So don't believe any of that stuff, okay? Let's talk a little bit about Artemis. Now what happened, Marty? We're not on here. Oh, there we are.
I'm trying to get the green screen back. But
That's all right. Leave it off there if you don't want. Oh, well, I can't get the any more pictures to go by.
I hope you get some, otherwise I got to look at us.
There we are. Talking Artemis. We don't need a bunch of images. Everyone's getting excited. February 5th is when the launch window opens up for Artemis 2. It's just going to go Yeah, we lost all of our videos, Marty, somehow, except on the screen. So that's good. Um, uh, do you know anybody working on Artemis? Do you have your own opinion on Artemis?
I know some people are working on it, but they're kind of hush hush about what's going on, except that they're still behind schedule.
So 4 astronauts, 3 Americans and a Canadian, are going to go launch on a free return back trajectory back from the moon to Earth. If SLS hits its target, like it probably will, there's only a minor mid-correction on the backside of the moon to get them coming back to Earth. Otherwise, gravity of the moon will move them around, and they could do it without the fine tuning. They're going to be 5,000 miles away from the surface. I think that's like from here to Paris, you know, and risking their lives and so forth, and not even doing anything that Artemis 3 that's supposed to land on the moon going there. So, are you excited about it? What can you feel about it?
I haven't figured out what they're going to learn science-wise from this mission from 5,000 miles out, you know, and what it's going to prove. And then, you know, understanding that their moon landing is way out and they don't have a lander to get them back off of the moon. I mean, that's supposed to be happen in 2027, and by what I understand is they don't have that, and they're struggling as to what they're going to do.
Which is the Starship, and we've shown you that the Starship is over 200 feet tall, with like a 38-degree width. The lunar module of Grumman was 27 feet tall, and with like a 30-foot width, wider than it was taller.
Yep.
Tipping over is a big deal. We've seen 3 vehicles tip over on the moon that were sent there by private companies. I think one was Israel. Yes, a lot of unknowns, and there is an association, the Aerospace Safety Advisory Panel, ASAP, last week, a couple weeks ago, shot across the first shot across the bow of the Artemis ship, so to speak, that says that lander ain't going to work.
Yeah.
And
they're talking about borrowing Blue Origins.
Blue Origin. I read an article where if we're going to land on the moon and beat China, the only hope is Blue Origin's lander, called Blue Moon. And they do have one certified for that they're going to try to put on the moon for cargo, maybe late next year. So we'll see about that. So Marty, is we just going to go without any? Do you know what's happened or? Oh, now you just lost us. There we are.
I'm trying to get the green screen images back. I'm gonna have to do a restart.
Well, let's just go without it then. That's okay. Just leave us in the black here, because you all know some of the images there. But let's cut to the chase about bringing OV-103, taking it out of Udvar-Hazy in Washington, D.C., and putting it in the Johnson Space Center. What is your opinion about that?
I agree with a lot of other people out there. They never had an orbiter there. Nothing launched from there. So, of course, nothing launched from the Smithsonian either. But, you know, it will get more attention at the Smithsonian, I think, than in Houston. But that's a lot of money to spend, and I'm not even sure if they came up with the money, if it could be done. The people I know that moved orbiters around after the end of the program, they said none of the hardware exists to go move an orbiter like that. So last time they took Endeavour to its new position in California, they said the actual hardware that was used to move it was cut up while they were still there.
Yes, you saw Eric Baker. He basically said after spending his entire engineering life working on the shuttle as an electrical engineer, he was the lead OV-103 test project engineer. I was proud to loan my orbiter to the astronaut flight crews. Did you catch that? Eric said that in a letter that was written, that he wrote, published in the Aviation Week in Space Technology. Thanks, Marty. Yeah, I thought. Did you feel that way that you were loaning your orbiter to the flight
That's
crews?
right. It was ours.
Okay.
We built it, we worked on it, we repaired it, we got it ready for them, and they could take it off for a couple of weeks and then bring it back, and we'd do it all over again. So
Uh, well, he said he was proud that it was selected to go to Smithsonian, and JSC should be proud of its role in the shuttle program, but it was never home to the orbiters. All right, the closest it ever got to an orbiter was when they flew over it, Houston, so the employees could see it as it was leaving Elgin base out, no, Ellington base out there, going to here to Kennedy Space Center. Um, and so, yes, Senator Mark Kelly, who flew Orbiter twice and 2 other missions to space, and 3 other Democratic senators are opposing this happening. And if it doesn't happen by January next year, it has to happen 18 months after this big, beautiful bill of President Trump mandated this.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that on there. RG Jubilee brought up something. Rosalie, good comment. She said the reason they can't go back to the moon is because they're trying to design spacecrafts that can be reused over and over. That makes it more complicated and a lot more checks and balances there when you've got humans on board there, Rosalie. That's a good way to look at it there. So, well, we hope we don't disappear in this black hole, but Marty, we've never had this happen. Over 1,300 episodes, and we're not going to worry about it as long as you all are hearing us. We'll go without any visuals here as we're winding up a loose conversation here with Terry. Wow, we've already talked over 40 minutes.
yeah.
Well, we did have that good swag here to show everybody. So, what else is current events that you can think of going on that we should comment about? We haven't had a launch in a while because the weather's been crummy here.
Yep. They only got a couple of months to make up for the numbers that they need to get over 100 launches this year. So
Yeah, we're in a big rainy pattern here. Got a lot of rain today. But if the rain clears up, you go outside, wherever you're at, it's a beautiful evening, clear, you're going to get some moonshine because it's full moon tonight, all right? The moon is rising as the sun is setting, and the full moon of October is the harvest moon, okay? The beautiful harvest moon's going to be up now. Also, the harvest moon could be in November, but it's really October up there in your northern climate. The November moon is the hunter's moon because everything's been harvested, the trees are down, and you can hunt among there. So, do you go hunting in October and November?
all of them.
All of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. You going hunting this October?
I've got some hunts set up for October and almost every weekend in November, but usually I would go back to Ohio to hunt for November.
Uh-huh.
So, but yep.
Hunt what? Quail?
Deer.
Deer? Oh, deer.
Yeah.
You just get that out your back door.
There's no deer in my backyard, so
Didn't there ain't deer in your backyard?
nope. And as a matter of fact, the hogs.
Merritt Island?
Yeah, the hogs haven't been around in a long time, so I don't know where they got off to, but there's a lot of development going on in my neighborhood, so it's time for me to move. Getting crowded.
Is it? You
Yeah.
live on a farm situation, Merritt Island, right?
Yeah. Yep. So,
Fruit farm?
Yep. My wife grows fruit. It was a dead end dirt road when I bought the property and built the house and that, and now there's all kinds of neighbors around it and more of them coming in. So
That is Florida right now today. So it's a full moon, and go out there and get your little moonshine. That's the only kind of moonshine you can't get too much of. Just you're not going to, the moonshine does blot out some of the fainter stars and constellations, as well as some of the satellites that I love looking at. I've enjoyed being out lately when it has been cleared. Mosquitoes are down and the humidity's under 80% at night, so
yep.
easier to get out and just put your head up and watch all these satellites whirl over you. So wonderful. That's sort of the things we wanted to hit and talk about today. Marty, you got a question or comment?
Yeah, Linspeather was asking, with the shuttle processed and flew from KSC, Why did Houston become the main communication hub during a launch?
That happened many, many years ago, that Houston was set up to be mission control for when they're in space, and Florida would be launch control. I think politics had a lot to do with it, but I wasn't in the space program at the time. But so all the astronaut training, or the majority of astronaut training, took place in Houston, and a lot of engineering. But still, Florida's the only place that's launched American astronauts into space. So
Yes, that was, they were trained there. It was probably more that they had more people that could talk to them when they're orbiting the Earth in Houston than here at Kennedy, because you guys were the roller coaster ride. You were the fun ride, the blast off to space.
we had enough communication stuff in the firing room.
Did you?
In the shuttle days.
All right, okay. He's kind of defensive about that. I can see there. All right, right away. I like that. Michael Bruno's got a comment there, Marty. You keep your eyes on the news probably a little better than I do. Has a Dream Chaser been canceled?
No,
Dream Chaser being
but
the
it keeps being delayed and delayed.
oh, it
Yeah.
is horribly delayed.
Yes.
Unbelievably delayed. It was supposed to be the lifeboat for the ISS with a 2 or 3 people could be ferried up and down in it.
Yep.
Now it's turned into a cargo ship.
And it's not,
Dream Chaser is the shuttle looking by Sierra. It used to be Sierra Nevada. They used to have a mock-up of it at the IMAX Theater to
Yeah.
Space Center there. What do you hear about that?
not good.
Not good?
Nope.
There's one of them sitting in one of the OPFs, aren't they?
No, the OPF.
Oh, it's in the ONC?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Operations Center?
yeah. The OPFs, 2 of them have the X-37, and the other one's Boeing. But yeah, it's just there's a lot of issues with it, and they're still not resolving them yet. So
Well, we thank y'all for watching today. Dave Stangy, RG Jubilee, Gary Gerald, Steve Jokums, Lynn Feather, Tom Celentano, Carlton Bailey, Doug Forrest, Jim McDade, Tom Usiak, my daughter Jessie Q with granddaughters McKinley and Macy watching today. Lee Ann Semick, Peggy Holbert, all right.
my sister.
Your sister, Patty's probably watching, your wife. Michael Bruno watching down there in Miami. So thank you all for watching today. We got sucked in a little bit of a black hole. First time we've ever lost our video, but we didn't lose our audio or our smiling faces on Stay Curious today. So we're getting some guests lined up. Carlton, are you coming in the second Thursday? Is this Thursday? So send me some your work of October launches there, buddy, and we'll have you in Thursday. And we're going to have you in later in the month, maybe next Wednesday or the Wednesday after that. So getting some guests lined up. I just got to get off my butt and start making some phone calls. So, Marty, thank you for a good job today. We'll try to figure out what happened to the video there, but that's okay. We had a wonderful conversation with you all today. Come back tomorrow and we'll do the same. Until then, I'm Mark Marquette, thanking Terry White for his dedication and support of our American Space Museum, just like you. And I'm saying I can't wait to see you again, maybe in our museum, to bridge the space between us. Thank you.